So, it's been 5 days since Gnarly by KATSEYE came out, so let's make the signature Gnarly Sandwich and talk about their new song. I'm gonna preface this by saying that the whole vibe of this song and the music video eats. The costuming is fantastic as always. I've seen some people criticizing their outfits, but they really are not very different from the other outfits we've seen them in from the Soft as Strong era, and they're still showing the girls' individual style, which is super important. The choreography was also on point. They've been getting some flack for the twerk break, but it only lasts 3 seconds, and let's be honest, we've seen more sexual dances from other K-pop groups. This really isn't that bad. Sohae and Grant and the rest of the team always understand the assignment, and they obviously were going for a more cunty vibe, and they did that so well. And of course, the girls are taking this creative direction and just running with it. You can tell they're having a good time, and that's what's important to me. If you don't like the new era of music and prefer their cute and fun vibe from the previous EP, just go listen to New Jeans or something. We've always known that KATSEYE was going to explore their music style, and we even see this starting in Soft and Strong, where Debut and Touch are more upbeat than the other 3 songs. They came out as singles before the rest of the EP, and while the lyrics are good, you can tell they were just dipping their toes in the water. As far as lyrics go, they kinda do sound like most other songs by other girl groups. Debut was super fun and showed us that KATSEYE didn't come to play, and they're not only gonna be our new idols, they're gonna be stars. And Touch was also very girly pop and relatable, but still also showed that while they weren't getting the attention of their love interest, they also made a big deal of knowing their worth and moving on, which I thought was very nice to hear, because we so often hear pop songs about girls laying in bed waiting for a text back, but not really doing anything about it. I like how from the beginning, KATSEYE has always said, be the driving force in your own life. That's what makes them stand out. And they carry on with this into the rest of the discography while moving on to a more serious note. My Way takes a target audience to teens, talking about doing things the way they want, even though other people, like their parents, might disagree. They also acknowledge that there may be consequences to their actions, but they're owning that because they get to be the one in charge of their own life. Again, I think that's very nice to hear pop music encouraging autonomy and freedom to girls while also taking accountability. As fun as the I'm just a girl trend is, it's important to remember that personal freedom also means taking responsibility. And as for I'm Pretty and Tonight I Might, we continue this theme, but I feel like it's targeted more to young adults. We take the past hurts and mistakes and we put on a brave face, feel good about ourselves, and try something new. It's a beautifully well done EP. And then we get to Gnarly. After almost 9 months of waiting for new music, everyone was on the edge of their seat for this, and I think that's what made the release so chaotic. The drastic shift in style caught a lot of people off guard, and it's easy to see why. We went from super cute and light femininity to this powerful, cunty, almost sultry vibe. What made this launch so popular was the unexpectedness. Some would call it rage bait, but I'm calling it a second debut. While the lyrics definitely could have been worked on, especially the Tesla line, because what do you mean, Tesla is gnarly? If we're using the obvious slang term of gnarly to mean awesome or cool like in the rest of the song, I don't think that was a very wise choice just because of the current political state we're in. I'm under the personal opinion that unless you're making punk or another genre that is rooted in politics, you should probably stay away from divisive language, even if it's just to make everyone happy for more sales. A lot of people, myself included, use music as an escape or a distraction from current events, and there really wasn't any reason to name drop Tesla anyway because it's not relevant to the rest of the song. They could have been talking about the 1980s American rock band Tesla, formerly known as City Kid, who was also under Geffen's label, but I don't think that's likely. And as for the Talkies line, a lot of people speculated why that and the Tesla line got changed for the clean version, but I think the most likely answer is that they would have had to pay Tesla and Talkies a royalty for name dropping them on the radio, which is why the radio clean version leaves them out. Kind of like how Addison Rae is sponsored by Pepsi, hence her song Diet Pepsi. Besides that, I think the rest of the lyrics have their own place in the song, which I'm aware that's an unpopular opinion, but hear me out. Girl punk has been around for ages and is popular for a reason. It's true that it's common for male Western artists in R&B, rap, country, and even pop tend to write lyrics about girls, money, nice cars, booze, and drugs. Girl punk takes that and says, we can do that shit too. They sing about being hot and single, being players, having nice mansions, having all the money they want, and doing whatever they want, which is exactly the core theme of Soft is Strong. Although the SIS EP definitely doesn't sound like girl punk, at its core, it is. I think because KATSEYE is half owned by Hybe, that they had to start out in a cute way to gather ratings. But while Geffen has plenty of other fun pop artists under their label, like Olivia Rodrigo and Stacey, they also have a huge array of other genres in their artist repertoire, including Guns N' Roses, Nicki Minaj, Limp Bizkit, and Rob Zombie, to name a few. It's not completely unexpected to find many genres under one label, and I think Hybe wanted to try and branch off from their typical sound. I would even go so far as to say that Hybe and Geffen have been planning this shift into a more cunty vibe for KATSEYE all the way back from Dream Academy. We had all these great contenders for the girl group that definitely had the talent and personality to be in a girl group, like Emily, Israela, Lexi, Samara, Brooklyn, Carly, and Hinari all had this adorable vibe, and I think they went with the final 6 because of their ability to be both fun and cutesy and sexy. We see this directly with Megan in the Pop Star Academy documentary, where Nikki acknowledges that Megan is a talented dancer and is very likable, but after her Mission 3 performance Confident, Nikki calls her a dark horse, and she secured her spot in KATSEYE. This would also explain the whole Mission 3 Buttons performance. A lot of people felt it was kind of out of place for a K-pop based group because of its sensuality, but it is still the #1 most viewed mission from the entirety of Dream Academy. People loved it, and I think that's why they chose Sophia, Laura, Daniela, Yoonchae, Megan, and Manon for this particular project. And as for Nayoung, Ilya, and Adela, because they had this more mature vibe to them, and the record wanted them to be almost moldable, per se, they didn't fit the vibe, even though they are also insanely talented. Nayoung expressed interest in being a solo artist, and even though Adela didn't explicitly say that, and she definitely fit the sultry vibe, I think they saw a solo career in her too. And let's be honest, she's fucking killing it on her own anyway. Lara even mentions the shift into a more central vibe in the documentary when they're deciding on the group name. I think a lot of people took that to mean years down the line, like as they grew up, but I think that bit was kept in there intentionally to make way for Gnarly. And as for the abrupt change in style and chuggy lyrics, I think it was a little bit of rage bait in the sense that it was completely unexpected. And at first I was also shocked at the music video, but after letting it simmer for a couple days, I realized that this was probably KATSEYE's aim all along. We're gonna get the same messages of empowerment and fun visuals as we did with Soft is Strong, but with a fun new sound. And I think this first song is gonna be the most intense out of the rest of the upcoming album, because let's be honest, we can tell a new album is coming. It's gonna pave the way for the sound and the message, but the rest of the songs are gonna be just a little bit more chill with all the same sexy, silly vibes, just like we heard with Debut in Soft is Strong. I'm personally really excited to see where they go with this and where the music goes in the next year. Thanks for listening, and go stream Gnarly. It's good as hell. Love ya. And here's the finished. Oh, smells really good. I'm super excited. Oh my god. I'm gonna say I did not have salami, so I used Spam. Oh my god. Okay. Lots of kimchi in here. Okay. First bite. Oh my god! I don't even like kimchi that much. But holy shit! Mmm! Mmm! Mmm!